Welcome back to Spirits and Souls. I am inviting you into my sacred little space where I am your spiritual and metaphysical teacher, Queen Mother, teach you what spirituality is and how to become the person that you desire to become. Before we get started, I want to make sure that you hit that notification bell as well as the subscribe button and the notification bell so you can stay up to date when I drop all of my juicy jewels for you on every Tuesdays and Thursdays. Now you all, before we keep going, I want to go ahead and let you know right now that I am obviously working from home, but I have my pups as always out on the balcony when I record, and I have a little agitated pup who's, well, now it's both of them trying to get in the house. They want to be in the house, but the thing is they play a lot when they're in the house and it disrupts my recording, so they're outside and they're not too happy about it. So if you hear them scratching and knocking at my door, I'm sitting right next to the door. They see me, I see them. They're like, why are you not letting us in this house? So that's who that is. I'm not going to be sure if I can edit them out every single time, so I just want to go ahead and make sure I tell you guys this right now. Now, today's topic, I want to give a shout out to my beautiful and lovely mother, who I should watch this video because I want to make sure she watches this video. She encouraged today's topic, and I wanted to make sure she encouraged today's topic. My mom called me the other day, and she sent me a picture of something she saw on Facebook, and she said that she called me and she said, I had this crazy thought, it just popped into my head. Are you a good witch or a bad witch? And although I laughed at her because I was like, you know, trying my best to explain to her the difference in between the two, and that there really isn't a big difference, and I don't think I did a really good job of explaining it to her, which is why I am doing this video today, because if she has this question, a lot of you probably have this hope that I do a better job of explaining this to her. So to make sure that I have my notes, so if you catch me looking at my notes in this video, then just know that is that, right? Alright, so let's get into it. What is the difference between a good witch and a bad witch? And I want to go ahead and, this hair is really getting my nerves. I want to go ahead and explain to you the difference between the two, and then give you my explanation at the end. So hang on tight if you want to get the real and true understanding of what a witch is, and if there really is a such thing as a good or a bad witch. Alright? In the occult, the term witch is used to describe anyone or person who uses energy as a form of magic to manifest what they desire. They're usually labeled as a witch. There are different types of levels of energy. There are different types of magic levels in which an individual can use the energy to create the life that they desire. The term good witch and bad witch stems from society's desire to classify everything in black and white. But when you're working in the occult, there are many gray areas within the occult. The occult typically just uses energy, and energy is energy. It doesn't matter who uses it. It is the same type of energy being used every single time. Depending on who the person is, good or bad, the energy is the same. So when working with energy and manifesting, energy is continuous. Many people may choose to, energy typically in magic, it's required to give something in order to receive something. So many people are a little bit, some practitioners may be a little bit mindful when it comes to invoking energy in a negative way, because 9 times out of 10 they have to give up something in return to get whatever they're asking for, as well as that energy is very karmic, so it comes back around. So they don't want to invoke that negative energy into their personal lives. They're not going to typically do anything negative because they don't want the backlash of it. Okay, so let's dive into what a good witch is classified as. So good witches are classified as someone who works with light energy. They use this light energy to manifest and create good and positive things for people, which usually uses and calls upon Jesus Christ or God, and only works within the Christian faith, typically. Or the good witch only does good things for good people. And they're considered like light or energy workers, and most people want to tend to lean towards the goodness of being a good witch. Well, so a good witch is typically, they use herbs and lights and stones and crystals, and they don't believe in sacrifices, and they believe in, you know, lots of positivity and working with the true elements of the earth and all of this good things. Anything that is good and embraces life, they do. But there is a problem with that term. I'm going to explain to you in a few. Now, the term bad witch, unfortunately, is often classified with Black culture or Black African American African spirituality. It is also associated with devil worshiping and things like that. The Black witch, the bad witch term usually is considered bad because anyone who's working as a bad witch is working on with deities that is not Jesus Christ, that is not God, you know, in the sense of God in Christianity's form, because they call upon other deities and work with other forms of energies. They're considered bad. Most bad witches are classified, and I want to keep doing this because listen, I'm going to show you the BS in between it in a second. Most bad witches are classified as known for doing curses and hurting and harming people and all of this stuff. But that's not truly what a witch is. It's not truly what a bad witch is. So going forward, even though this title is discussing the term witch, I'm going to change it because witch is usually associated with witchcraft, and I'm not a witchcraft participant, you know, so I'm going to change the term to now fit me and what I need to tell you guys. So I work as a practitioner. I like the term practitioner because it's not necessarily I don't practice witchcraft. So for me, a lot of the things that we see, such as working with crystals, working with tarot, working with doing herbs, working with herbs and spells, and doing energy work, Reiki and healing and things like that, they want to associate those things with good witches. But the truth is, there's no such thing as a good or bad witch. There's no such thing as a dark or a light witch. There's no such thing as a light or dark practitioner. And when I mean practitioner, I usually mean within like the voodoo or the voodoo religion, or the or Ifa practitioners, or hoodoo, or whatever form of African spirituality you choose to practice within. Here's the real deal. Remember when I told you that energy is what we typically use when we're working to create our world? We all are working with this energy continuously, whether you know it or not. The difference with a practitioner is we're using that energy knowingly to our benefits, and we're also realizing that the energy can use a little bit of, you know, a little boost, you know, a little pizzazz, right? And that pizzazz comes in from using and working with the moon cycles, that comes in from working with crystals, that comes in with working with herbs and candles and all of those things. We are channeling our energy a little bit differently to get more results and better results than just thinking and using the energy in its purest form. We're taking the energy and we're using the energy from the moon, the sun, the environment. We're using it to really create the life that we want for ourselves or for our clients. Now, if everybody is using this energy, does that make everybody a good or a bad person? No, we all are consciously using it. The biggest thing that comes in, because if we were to take aside the desire to classify things as good or evil, we would honestly start seeing that it's really no difference between the two. A good witch, for example, can have, let's say, a good witch or a practitioner can come in and have a client who wants her to help her meet the love of her life, right? The love of her life could very much well, that she wants to be with this one particular guy, can be married, you know, and the intention behind that would be so she could be classified as good, because I want to help this woman find love, and she's in love with this man, I want her to be with this man, she's having a, you know, she's with this guy. But the evil side of that would be she's breaking up a marriage. She's already bringing pain and harm onto someone else, and that would be the not so good part of it, because you'll have one practitioner who is classified as good and one practitioner who's classified as bad will come to you, and one would say, okay, I'll go ahead and do whatever it is that you want, even though it's going to give a negative outlook onto the other person you're looking to, or the fact that I'm binding you or doing a love spell for someone against their will. That can be classified as bad. A good practitioner would look at it and say, hey, okay, I'm going to help you do a love spell. I'm going to do this love spell to help you find the love of your life, but I'm not going to do it with this one individual person, because the love of your life could be someone else. This person that you're going to go in, ruin their lives, interrupt their household, their lives and everything because you want them, is not what I'm going to do. But I will help you find the love of your life, and if it is this person, then the universe will work with you, and the forces that we're using, the magical forces that we're using, is going to work with you to help this desire for you to be fulfilled. It may not be right now, because this person is obviously in a relationship and has to go through some things to get out of it, but it will come to fruition. Do you guys see the difference? There's no such thing as a good or a bad witch. It is purely up to the intention of the person in which you're working. Now, if you choose to focus on negativity and darkness and things like that, then of course that would kind of make you may consider yourself a little bit as of a bad practitioner. But when you're working within conjure, you find that there's no good or bad, because I may be a good person and I may have a client who comes to me and may want to hex somebody who did something wrong to her, and I can choose to say I want to help this individual get justice for what was done to her, and I can do it. But does that make me an evil person, or does that make my client an evil person because they want revenge or they want negativity put back onto someone who brought pain and suffering to themselves? No. You know, sometimes what we tend to forget in the battle of good versus evil is that there is a balance in place, because there is that big gray area that a lot of us fall within, and we can't keep classifying things as black and white or good or evil, because sometimes there is that medium ground. And I know specifically working within conjure, we work a lot in that medium grade area, and it's up to the practitioner to decide what it is and truly that they want to do for this client. Do they want the money? Do they feel like they are able to do a hex and put a hex on someone? That's okay. Did the person really deserve it? You know, and that's usually up to the practitioner and what they feel like they're comfortable with and what they want to do. So just because you see someone's house may be decorated with skulls and darker themed stuff doesn't make them an evil witch or a bad practitioner. Or if you see someone who's like all light and fairies and all this stuff, that doesn't make them a good or a bad witch. That person can still take that same energy, that energy they're working, and make it flow negatively for someone else. And a lot of these witches and practitioners who like to classify themselves as good do that exactly, and then they want to say, no, I'm good. No, there's no grade area. As a practitioner, you're going to work some good. You're going to do something to bring fortune and fame and love and happiness, and it may be at the cost of someone else, but it is your job to speak your intentions to continuously be positive and be, you know, say if I am putting a hex on someone, I can sit here and say, this person needs to have justice served back to them, or someone, or if I am removing a hex from someone, you know, I'm going to send that same negative energy that they tried to put on my client back to them. That's not wrong. You know, they started it, I have to send it back, and that's where it's going. Or if I put a hex on someone, you know, that truly deserves it, okay, justice is served. You know, the energy was already put out there. That energy is being manipulated now to go back to the person which created it and which started it. And unfortunately, that could be classified as evil. Now, working with deities when you're a practitioner is a big part of a lot of the stronger practitioners. I don't believe Jesus Christ is the one that you should call on when you're working with anything. I love when you're working with within conjure, because you're working with spirits. You're working with the spirits of plants. You're working with the spirits of the waters, the spirits of the airs. You're working with your ancestors. You're working with spirits that you don't know. You're working with divine energy, and you're using this energy to create. And sometimes you have to call on certain deities to help, who are more specialized in that area, to help you. Let me break it down like this for you. Imagine going to need to get your car fixed. You're not going to take your car to AutoZone, who sells products to fix your car. You're going to take it to a mechanic shop. You're not going to take your car to the car wash to get fixed. You're going to take it to a specific car mechanic. Now say there's something very specific wrong with your car. Now you need a mechanic who specializes specifically in the restoring the service that you need to be fixed on your car. You're not going to just take it to a tire replace place and be like, can you fix my car? No, you're going to call on that business who specifically understands how to fix your issue. And that's a beautiful thing when you're working with deities and you're working with plants and animals, and you're doing sacrifices and things like that. You're learning how to go to the specific root or spirit and ask them for their help, and in return you have to give something back. No matter if you classify yourself as good, if you classify yourself as bad, you have to give something back. And that could be looked at as down as a bad thing, because some people may go and feel like blood sacrifices are a little bit better. Some people may look at just giving smoke or just giving gifts or love and encouraging words as even better. I just think, to honestly, whatever fits your level of comfortness is what's going to shape your intentions as a practitioner. Intention is everything. That's why I really believe that it's no such thing as a good or a bad witch. If I look at a woman who is a practitioner or a man, if you are an evil person, you're going to do evil things. If you are a good person, you're going to do good things. And when I say evil things, I mean like if you're out here just like hexing people for no reason, you know, that's a misabuse of your power. That's a misabuse of your gifts to help people. You know, all of it is in benefit to help someone. If it's not yourself, it is someone you know. It is a client that is paying. I would never judge anyone as good or bad as a witch. You also have to realize that as Christianity began to take over, especially during the times of the late 1800s and early 1900s, and during those times like the Salem witch trial and things like that, a lot of people were afraid of women and men who use the natural elements to create and heal the people that were around, the desires that they want, and heal the people that were around them. So they began to say, oh, are you a good witch or are you a bad witch? Are you, you know, someone can literally come and smack you in your face, but you're wrong for taking and getting, you're wrong for wanting revenge, or to say, I want to get that person back for doing something to me because they did something to me, so I'm going to hex them. Now, I will say, when doing curses and hexes, it is a very, very powerful energy, and when used with the correct intentions, it makes the world of a difference. It can so much that it will affect generations to come. And I really believe that when you're using your magic and you're using your power and your intentions, to do it honestly, to do it using an honor code. What would you want to be done to you? Because a part of that energy does come back to you. Because say for instance you hex someone out of revenge or spite, and that person goes to someone else and they now sending that energy back to you. If you're not a person that is, especially if you're new to this and you're not knowing how to protect yourselves, or you're not knowing how to do these things correctly, you don't want that level of power that you spoke out and put out there to come and affect you and your family, you know. So I think it's really important to not go out and just start hexing people because they broke up with your boyfriend, they broke up your home, or they stole your girlfriend or your boyfriend. I wouldn't want to put curses on people for doing anything. Me personally, I can work with curse removals. I don't necessarily practice putting curses on people, because on my spiritual journey, as the person that I am today, I now have a better understanding that people make mistakes, things happen, and sometimes things happen for the betterment of you. You know, when you're in a situation, you may not see it right then and there, but a lot more is happening for you to grow. And if we look at those situations as growing situations and opportunities, then we won't be fine. You know, we won't look at it like, oh my god, I want to go hex this girl who stole my man, you know. And it's just like, you know, if that was your man and he loved you and he truly wanted to be with you, he wouldn't have been stolen. You know, if he loved and had respect and honor for you, you would have never had this question or doubt. You know, you're going to move on to have somebody else and you're like, oh, she deserves to get what she get. No, you know, sometimes you have to like learn to let go and forgive. What if you were the person that was standing away from her being with the man of her dreams? These are soulmates and you're the one that's in the way. So now you're going to curse them because you're mad because these two soulmates are supposed to be together, and you want something. Your soulmate is out there, you know. You have better to come and you're hurting other people. So I don't think people should be very cautious when doing curses, because it takes a lot to break them and it takes a lot to put them on someone. And let me tell you something, when you put a curse on someone or you ask for someone to put a curse on them, it's like you're tied to that person energetically, spiritually. You're continuously tied to that person. There's no separation because you initiated it, you did it. So you are forever tied to these people. Do you want to be tied to these people even after you're not here? Do you want your grandchildren, great grandkids, aunts, nephews, whatever, to be going through these things years after you have passed? No, because there has to be a balance within it too. It has to be a balance. So I would be mindful. Anyway, I hope that I explained that a little bit better than I explained to my mom. I'm definitely going to have my mom watch this video so she can get a better understanding of what it is. I do want to state this before I end this video. You can be a spiritual practitioner, meaning you can work on, remember, spirituality is all about learning yourself, learning who you are, and loving yourself in the process. Now, if you want to use things like crystals to heal yourself and attract, you know, love or wealth or balance and protection and things like that, you can do those things without being classified as a practitioner or a witch. You can use those, you know, do Reiki energy healing without being classified. You're not technically a witch or anything like that. You're like getting a slice of the pizza. This is pretty much what it is. It's not a big slice, it's a small slice. You know, you're just, you know, eating the toppings off of the grand scale of it. You're picking and choosing what you want to do, but you can still practice on the wholeness. Being a witch, you use religion very, very often. So if you choose to use Christianity, I know like a lot of Wiccan and witchcraft uses Christianity and Judaism as their basis. I'm not going to say I'm 100% accurate on this, but from what I've seen and read, they do a lot of that. Voodoo and hoodoo use a lot of the Christianity and Catholicism as well. I'm going to explain that a little bit more to you guys in the next video, so please make sure that you hit that notification bell so you can get up to date on our journey jumping into African spirituality, something I've been dying and really, really wanting to get into, but I wanted to make sure I had a very, very good way to explain it to you guys without being confusing. So that's going to be the next video for you all. Anyway, if you have any questions or you're interested in starting in any witchcraft, Wicca, Wiccan, or any African spiritualities like voodoo or hoodoo or anything like that, then comment down below. And if you would like me to post a little bit more videos on that coming sooner, then I will most definitely do that for you. If by the time you're watching this I've already posted it, I'll just make sure to always link them back to each other so you can check it out. Yeah, but yeah, there's no such thing as a good or a bad thing. There's no such thing. I just feel like we all do the same thing. Just imagine like we're all doctors, and I'm just a little bit more specialized in being a doctor. I'm a little bit more specialized in knowing how to use the tools versus just kind of hopelessly asking like I know how to use the tools, right? So in love and light, I wish you all an amazing and beautiful week this week, and you have a blessed week. Bye. the same question as well.